What's going on, faithfuls? It's your boy Nick and your boy Scott from over here at Nothing But Niners. Once again, we're back for the second part of the mailbag questions. So we had another interesting question we wanted to touch base with on, and Scott's going to tell you what that question was, and we'll see what we got opinions on.
Okay, so this question was from Loco Ways, and he asked that on our Facebook page. If you haven't seen that, go and check it out. It's on Facebook, Nothing But Niners. And Loco Ways' question was, even if Ray Ray Armstrong looks great in training camp, do you guys still see him making the 53 with Malcolm Smith and Brock Coyle signed? And that was Loco Ways with that great question. So, Nick, you're a big fan of Ray Ray Armstrong. I know that for a fact. Do you see your boy making the 53, even though the 49ers signed Coyle and Malcolm Smith this summer?
You know, Scott, I am a huge fan of Ray Ray. So I think he actually, you know, myself and Mike had said this before in a couple podcasts that he outplayed Bowman last year, even when Bowman wasn't injured. Ray Ray was all over the field. He's got quick lateral movements. He can cover sideline to sideline. He's good in coverage because he used to be a safety. I think he was a big addition on special teams as well. And I think that's what's going to help him make the team this year is special teams. Even though we have a lot of money in cap space for next year and this year still, I don't see us cutting Malcolm Smith and spending all that money on him, who knows this type of defense. I think Malcolm Smith's definitely a shoo-in, but Brock Coyle, I don't know how much money he's making. I know that you answered that in your mailbag, so I'm not going to touch on that. But I do feel that he can still make this team. And I believe that he will make this 53. But I think this year, with Robert Saleh saying that our defensive players are going to rotate a lot more, I think that that's going to help Ray Ray as well as special teams, ability to play special teams.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you want to look down at the mailbag, even just to take a look at the difference in the salaries, but for one thing is for certain is it will be way easier for the 49ers to cut Brock Coyle, and so that would be a guy for me who I think probably is more vulnerable than I think people are giving him credit. He's not a lot because they signed him this summer. You know, he was brought in. He knows the scheme, and that's all well and good. But that doesn't mean that he's going to be on the roster ahead of someone like Ray Ray Armstrong. Do you think Ray Ray's kind of the first linebacker off the bench at the moment, even with Reuben Foster on the 53, or do you think he's kind of number 4? Even at the start of the season with Reuben having had the shoulder problem, having missed bits of camp, et cetera, potentially being behind the curveball on that?
I think that he's probably number 3. And I think he's behind Reuben for this probably first 6 games or so, I would say, just because of the injury with the shoulder. And we don't know how Reuben Foster is going to do in training camp, if he's going to actually even compete and play in training camp. So we're all excited about Reuben as well as myself. But I'm not sure that he even is ready to go by week 1. So we have to see, keep an eye on that. That'll also determine with Ray Ray. But yeah, I mean, look for Ray Ray to make this 53 one way or another, whether it's special teams, whether it's backup, whether it's starting.
That's really interesting. Really cool. And what do you think his best position is out of the linebackers? Do you think he's a Mike, or do you think he's a Will linebacker in this team?
I think he's more of a Will.
Yep.
I think he's more of a Will just because of his ability to cover, as well as cover sideline to sideline with those, quick slants, screen passes, and such. So I think that he's a better positioned Will linebacker.
Yeah, those kind of hook zones, those curl flats, which have to be a bit of a staple of the Will linebackers repertoire, is something that Ray Ray does really well. And there's one thing that I would probably like to throw in the mix for this discussion and kind of see what you think about it. Is yesterday, obviously, and I'm sure hopefully a lot of our viewers know, we had Lorenzo Jerome on. And he was talking DBs, he was talking safeties, and one guy who was a conspicuous absentee when he was talking about the safety room a lot of the time was Jaquiski Tartt. And we've heard Robert Saleh say he was a kind of a tweener, and whether that was a safety linebacker, and that's something that he's always had the capability to do. What do you think of Ray Ray's chances of making the 53 if you start including someone like Jaquoski Tart as more of a linebacker, as at least someone who can slide into the linebacker rotation.
See, I was just talking to Mike about this today too. I think Kwaski is going to actually be a rotational player with Eric Reed this year. I think that's where they're going to rotate. I think that's where he's going to be the backup to Reed. I think, and I still think for the best of this team, I still think Jimmy Ward should be the second corner, and Lorenzo Jerome or Kwaski could be the free safety. So I think Kwaski has a spot on this team. He's going to be playing special teams. He's also going to be, I think he's going to be rotating with Eric Reed. I don't think he'll hurt the likes of Ray Ray making this team at all.
Interesting. Well, there you have it, guys. Nick is pretty certain that whoever's in there, whoever's competing with Ray Ray for that spot, Ray is going to make the 53-man. Take a look at what I say down in the article below. And otherwise, take a look at what we've got to say about the tight ends and the running backs on this roster. So I'll hand over to Nick to sign us off.
Yeah, guys, thanks for joining in once again. Thanks for visiting nothingbutniners.com, checking out all our articles that we have over there. Keep your eyes open and your ears peeled, man, because Nothing But Niners is for real. We're coming at you live, man, all the time. Check our YouTube page. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. You can also follow us on Nothing But 9ERS, as well as Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. We're everywhere. But above all else, stay faithful. We out.